Hello, everyone. August 22nd, Friday. Remember, don't risk any money you can't afford to lose. So today we took 8 trades, mostly on ELAB. We were up $38 and we gave it all back. So it was a pay to play day. And right off the bat, when we looked right around 6 a.m. at the stocks that were moving up, ELAB was one of them, and EEIQ, I think, or IK was the other. And so we selected those, but they didn't have much in the way of an upside. ELAB, I thought, had the most upside, but it didn't show the strength. So uh, we decided to dip in right before the market started, and just small size. And it appeared that ELAB was not going to have the strength. But the trades that we took were well placed. They were able to remain within a channel that was, that didn't stop us out, and at least the first few trades, and earn us a little bit of cash. Everything was slow moving off at the start, switching back and forth, and I knew ELAB had it in it to move up. It was just a matter of timing, and here we jump back in as it's moving up past VWAP. I try to get in on that green bar, and I just didn't click it fast enough, and I missed that. I missed that entry because I was going to get in there, but oh well. Such as the cookie goes. But overall, we lost 50 cents for the day, which is not a big deal. I'm not bothered by the fact. I knew going in that the stocks didn't have much to the upside, so there was going to be very little, if anything, to take away. And it listening to Paul's speech, it also sounded like what the market was looking for was just uh, some supportive words that they have it, that they have a plan, that they're not going to let the economy get to what happened in the past, 70s and 80s, and that they're ready to act, and the market moves on, which is what I suspected yesterday. It really didn't matter what he was going to say today, other than the market was going to move on and move ahead. And so I think I'm doing the same thing. After his speech, obviously the SPY moved up quite a bit, but small caps were doing well as well. The Russell 2000 was moving up. And then I think my thinking is that today, Friday, it's a leisure day. You're going to pay to play. You're going to maybe win some. You're going to lose some. You move on. You look forward for next week. So yesterday, my outlook for next week was really bad. Um, but it might be a little better. However, we're still going into the holiday, so I would still expect some slowdown. Um, so as you can watch here, we made some good choices there. I missed that second large green bar there right off of the price line as well above the VWAP, and could have made maybe a little bit of money, and perhaps I would have uh, cut it there. Uh, I had my line drawn there at 3, and I knew that if it went above 3, that 375 was a possibility. It might still have it in it for the rest of the day. I don't know. I'll check it next week and see what it did, see how Friday went. Uh, There was a lot of back and forth, but there was a lot of momentum. There was a lot of interest in a few stocks, and I think that hurt a little bit because there were three stocks that were potentially showing signs of moves, and I think people didn't know quite where to go, and didn't fixate on a single one. So here it was a matter of holding. I saw that doji up there, and looking at the 5 minute, it looked clean, and therefore I knew that the stock would move up. Now I drew lines up at 340 and 360, but I really had no basis for that other than just separating that $3 line from the 382 line that I had up at the top as its maximum. So we weren't looking to get much out of this stock. And on retrospect, but the ideal thing would have been that the trades that got us to $38 were actually so good that we should have uh, increased size and would have had a nice day. But my thought was, well, yesterday it worked so well that I only traded using about $900 earlier, and then went back. I still had 1,500 in the afternoon to trade with, and I was able to recover and make it a green day. So I sort of had that same thought this morning, and so I was only going in with small share sizes. But I definitely looked at the SPY and looked at the daily, and there definitely is a shift to the upside. Now I don't know how long it'll last. I'm thinking that it'll be a week and a half, and then it'll pull back again. So while we still have to be careful next week, if small caps are back and reinvigorated to start moving up, and if we have news catalysts, then Monday could be a very good day to increase size, especially on moves, on good moves and quality setups. And so the trades I took today were just about that, just about staying in practice and saying, look at that. Ooh, we made $3.67. We made the right choice, the right entry. We held for the right amount of time and we exited. We saw a pullback. We saw another opportunity. We went back in and we collected some more and we didn't lose. So again, we had the right entry. We waited and we selected the correct exit. And that's what it's about. It's about making sure that you enter and you exit at the right places. So this was good scalping here. We took a couple of trades. And at this point, I think we're up about $25 or so. And notice that I did draw a line at 338 and it hit there. So it's a thing of practice. You just learn to draw those lines, and then so if you've got a large distance like we did between the 3 and 382, what you got to do is draw one at half, draw the others at quarters, and typically that's a good point. So my 340 line was there just because 350 is a good support line and resistance as well. But if it could hit 350, then it could potentially go up higher. So We went back in, and sure enough, I think everybody had the same idea. Everybody's jumping in for the 350 break over highs, but um, it's struggling, and it's struggling mightily. And at the same time, the other stock was right now started to move up as well. And so here we're indecisive, almost a double top at the top. Is it going to give it another go, another try? And I'm thinking that it just doesn't have enough liquidity, so it's coming back down a little bit to stop some folks out. And that is exactly one of the reasons why I don't use stops. And I did use 2 stops today, but it was in places where I thought it was precarious places where it needed to be, because I just didn't want to wind up uh, down in the double digits today. And they actually work very well. And you'll see one coming up. So once again, we had the right entry. We're holding. We're watching. Again, the 5-minute looks really good. Our super trend MACD is sort of curving, shaking, but it's okay. Our MACD has a little bit of separation from the signal line, and it appears that it's unsure. So um, at this point, I'm thinking, well, maybe I may need to cut it. But a little bit of volume starts picking up, and we see that bar there, and all of a sudden, it turns into a great trade. Well, at least for a small 2K account. With more shares, this would have been a great trade. So we only went with 200. We could have had 800 shares, and it would have been a lot better. So now we're at $38, and this should have been the day. It's 708. Call it a day, but we still had over $1,000 to trade with, and the stock appeared to have um, a little bit of good momentum. So we decided to jump back in, albeit a smaller size, just to be sure. And my thought was just that potential hitting 370 or 379, right below the 380 mark there. And I thought it could hit high a day again. But again, folks were dispersed amongst the other 3 stocks, MODV, I believe, and what was the other one? I did trade the other one too, but I lost a little bit of money on it. EEIQ. Yeah, EEIQ, and it's still EIQ even as it's 8:07 Pacific time right now, and EEIQ is around 140. ELAB's around 319, still 320. So it might go for the day. Those appear to be the 2 stocks that have a potential for the day. So here we're just hanging on, and obviously, you've gone 3 bars, 3 minutes, and the spread there's $1.50. There's not much money to be made, so the choice should have been to get out. But once again, that stubborn trader that I am, I'm going to hang in for a little more. Yeah, I'm looking at the gappers right now for 807 EQ. Looks to be having a good old time. Yeah, EQ moving up from 165 to over $2. I might have a good day. But we're out of cash at this point. Yeah, we only have $144 left to trade. So, and it's Friday, and here would have been the clue to cut it. But I was hoping that it would bounce like it did the other times. And here is obviously it doesn't have enough liquidity to move up higher. It needs to come down and claim and stop folks out. Looking at the 5 minute, I thought, well, maybe a 2 bar pullback. So anyway, it's on a Friday. We only lost 48 cents. No big deal. We're still up $187 on the 182, I think. Over $180 on the month of August, which is really good. We only have 5 days left of trading next week before the holiday. So we expected that it's going to be slow. And so here's what I think happened. You see, people shifted over to EEIQ, and we went in, but it was already a little bit too high. And the range on this one, you see my red lines there at 155, and the next lines are about 170. So we're almost at we jumped in at 167. There was only about 3 cents left to make, and I didn't think that had the possibility of hitting 180. There was a lot of resistance on this stock. And that's one of the reasons I did not trade it originally. I think that if it hadn't been Friday, then I think more volume would have come in. Then things would have been a little better. But it's still good news. The fact that small caps are up is a good thing. So you take your licks, move on. Today's just practice, stay in rhythm, and come back next week. So I hope all these videos are helping you guys. They're visual tools can really help. They can really help if you see somebody make the obvious mistakes, so that you know where the traps are, and make your selections for entries and exits, and when it's time to get out. If you have comments, questions, leave them down below. If you like the videos, subscribe and like. I'll continue to make videos as long as I can, and over the next months, we can hopefully get better, and you guys can see me earn a little bit more money. And if the videos help, then so will you. Hopefully, you guys had a better day than I did, and have a great rest of the day, Friday today, and a great weekend. And we'll return back on Monday.